Well, you guys, I have an update on my fact or fiction about ripening of tomatoes and whether tomatoes will ripen faster if you cut a little semicircle around the bottom of the tomato. Now, I had started this on June 22nd, and it's almost been a week. But what the article had said was that your tomatoes will ripen within a week. So let's see, this is the weekend, and day after tomorrow will be a week, or tomorrow will be a week, I believe. So if you saw the previous video where I started this experiment, 2 of the tomatoes had already started ripening. That would be this one back here, which I can pick today, and this one up here, which I'll go ahead and pick. Now, these aren't fully ripe, but they are ripe enough to take inside, and I'll be able to use them tomorrow. They'll be totally red tomorrow when I take them inside. Now, this one down here, I hope you guys can see that, and I'll make sure that you do. Okay, I got you guys in a little bit closer, and I hope you can see all the tomatoes that I had shown you before. But I did put up a little sign that said tomato experiment, because we went out of town for a couple of days, and I didn't know if the kids would come over and pick vegetables, and come to find out they did come over. So I had this little sign up here, and these weren't any tomatoes that were touched. But one of my chickens did get out, and she had come over, and since this one was turning red, I hadn't picked it off before I left, but it had started turning red, and my big red chicken came over, and she did away with almost half of that tomato. But like I said, it had started turning red, is why she pretty much attacked it. So I've gotten, 2, and then this third one that the chicken started eating. What I'm going to do is just set it aside, and maybe I'll save the seeds from it. And then this one down here started turning red, and this big one has started turning orange. I'm not knowing what to say with this experiment. I don't think that cutting around the bottom of the plant and cutting the roots helped out at all. It didn't start turning either of these red, and it didn't do anything to this big one down here, or these 2 on the bottom, or let's see, there's one up here. It didn't do anything to that one. So I think since it was already starting to turn red, I went away for a few days, and they continued to ripen. I'm saying that I don't know. I'm right in the middle on this. I'm right in the middle of this issue. What I think I'll do is I'm going to pick another tomato plant that has all green tomatoes. I think I will cut it, and I'm going to try it again. And maybe that way we'll decide whether this works or not. So I'm gonna just turn the camera off for a minute, and I'm gonna find another tomato plant that has all green tomatoes. Okay, so here's the tomato plant. It's hanging over here, which I have to get it staked back up, but I wanted you to be able to see the vine where I'm going to cut it. But underneath here, those are all green. There's probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, and then up in here, there's 5 or 6 more, and a couple more up here. So the whole tomato plant is full of tomatoes. And we're going to do this experiment again on this tomato. And this tomato was one that I put in next to another beefsteak. It wasn't growing very big, so I put some compost tea on it. It started growing a little bit better, and then I put some vermicompost around it and dug it in from out of one of my worm towers. And I did that a couple of times, and then the tomato just shot up so fast that I couldn't keep it taped up, or I couldn't keep it up onto its stake. It got a lot of tomatoes on it, got really heavy, and it kept falling over, and I didn't have a chance to get out and get it staked back up, but I'll do that today. But since we can see the stalk, let me go ahead and cut that semicircle. And what that was 6 inches out and 6 inches down, that we cut a semicircle. And there's some roots that I'm going through. we cut some of the roots, and I'm going to go over here by my little water bottle. So there's my semicircle. I'm going to do that one more time just in case I missed any roots that would happen to be over here. Okay, I definitely went through some roots. I felt that. Once again, there's my semicircle, and we're going to try this experiment again because, like I said, on the other tomato, I was kind of in the middle on that. I was, you know, or I was on the fence, I guess, as you say. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get this staked up, and then I'll be right back with you. Now I'm getting these tomatoes staked up, and I'm not sure about the battery on my camera, whether the battery on my camera is going to go out or not. So just in case the battery happens to go, then you guys know that I'm doing another experiment on the tomato fact or fiction, because the first one that I did, I wasn't sure whether it turned out or not. I was on the fence about that. So I'm doing another one here just in case that first one didn't turn out for some reason. And this tomato plant has nothing but green tomatoes on it. And I cut the semicircle. Oops, there's some tomatoes hanging there. Don't want to drop those off. I cut the semicircle down at the bottom of this plant. It's got over 20 green tomatoes on it. And I don't think I can tie a knot and talk at the same time. So let me get this real quick. I don't want to make the knot really tight around here. I don't want to make a slip knot and cut off the circulation to those tomatoes. All right, well, I've got my tomato plant staked up, and like I said, this is a beefsteak tomato, just like the other one. I'm going to trim some of this back a little bit that looks like it got broken off and it's dead. And I'll just trim up a little bit underneath here to get more ventilation in. So these should be ripe within a week. We're going to do this all over again. Anyway, I'll see you guys before a week is up to see if any of these have turned orange or have turned red. We'll do it all again. Well, you guys, I'm sorry I'm laughing. I make so many mistakes when I'm making videos that after a while I just start laughing at myself because it's just so ridiculous that I can't seem to keep up with I can't seem to make an entire sentence without stopping and editing. But anyway, I'm very sorry that this first tomato experiment didn't work out. Maybe it did work out, but I'm just on the fence about it. So we're going to start with a new tomato plant. Has no red tomatoes on it at all. They're all green. There are over 20 tomatoes on there, so I think we'll know some kind of indication within a week whether any of those turn red. And we'll just go with that tomato plant as being the experiment tomato for this fact and fiction. And we'll just say that this first one, I don't know, didn't work out. Let me grab these tomatoes. These are the first tomatoes, no, actually these are the second and third tomatoes that I've gotten off the plant. There are two more on there that are halfway red, and I did pick a couple of other tomatoes that were on tomato plants that I didn't cut at the bottom. I don't know what to say. I'm in the middle on this, and we're going to try the other tomato, and I'll get back to you within a week and show you what that one's done. So I will be talking to you guys later. Thanks for stopping by for this update, and happy gardening, you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.